And we are live.
Hey, everybody. How you doing out there today? It's time for some more wonderful news.
Now you're telegraphing this episode, TJ. Bad news.
You know what?
Exclamation.
I get accused of, like, you just search out the worst news there is. I literally just, like, pull mostly what the top talked about headlines are on various fucking platforms, all right? This is just the news. It's not my fault it's all bad. I don't know if it's the media. I tend to think it's the public that just likes bad news better than good news, to be honest with you. You know?
They love it, man.
I don't think anyone gives a shit. Like, something good happened. It's like, tell me about the disaster. Tell me about the people dying, suffering.
You want to know why? Because if you hear about people... Because if you hear about people who are way better than you, you feel inadequate. You're like, oh my God, I fucking suck. But then if you hear about, like, this guy blew a bunch of people away as a piece of shit, like, I'm better than him. I'm better than that son of a bitch. So,
I'm better than him, and I'm not dead like his victims. So
at least you're not making headlines for the wrong reasons, you know, no matter how low you are.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. There you go. So, yeah, I don't know. I also just think people have a salacious appetite for... I mean, like, we don't even make movies about, like, good shit, you know? Like, it's all, like, the world's about to be destroyed, the city's being attacked by aliens, you know?
Art imitates life, dude.
Yeah.
What shape would that movie take, TJ? Like, here's the utopian future. Everything functions properly. Oh, I feel sick. You can immediately get healthcare and treated. Oh, that's great. Violence. Wait a minute. We can resolve our problems through reason and logic. There's no need for violence. I agree and put my weapon down. No one wants to see that fucking movie, TJ. It's a boring ass fucking flick.
Well,
that's what go ahead.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, no one wants that.
That's not what you're saying, TJ. It's not what you're fucking saying.
Human beings do not have a predilection towards that sort of shit. Anyway, check this out. This is Paul. This is for you. All right.
Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it.
I feel like this
fucking asshole, TJ. This Paul's for you.
I'm serious. It's not. It's. I mean,
this is why this is why Paul fucks on you, TJ, because you pretend to be Paul's friend, but then you stab him in the back on the show.
You don't even know what it is yet. It's kind of like, I don't know. All right. Well,
okay,
I think
is an article praising Paul. If it's not, then it's not good enough.
No, but I feel like it's an article that Paul will enjoy.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you'll be horrified, but I think even then it'll be like a giddy sort of horror.
Is it nukes have launched?
Gigantic 59-foot tapeworm emerges from man's bum after he complained of flatulence.
Oh man,
gross.
What the fuck? Oh, look at it. Pull the tapeworm out of your ass. Whoa.
I know that's been stuck in my head ever since I fucking...
What the fuck? It's like spaghetti.
Oh
my tapeworm spaghetti, dude.
God.
Give me some fucking marinara sauce for this shit.
No.
Is tapeworm edible?
No.
That was that dude's colon. Look, Paul, that could be living in your colon. Find out now.
Oh,
look at it. There it is. Close up.
Tapeworm fucking spaghetti, dude.
It didn't. No, he didn't. No, they didn't. No, it wasn't.
Look at that fucking thing, Paul.
Yeah, so apparently this dude...
milliliters.
This dude had flatulence since the beginning of March. He went to the hospital where the doctor took a stool sample for testing. The results showed it contained 28 infective larvae, which the doctors believe came from an infected uncooked beef. They prescribed medication for the patient before the giant parasite oozed out of his bottom the next day. Footage taken at the Parasitic Disease Research Center shows two astonished medics pouring water onto a huge chunk of tapeworm.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
59 feet. Look at it.
You gotta be fucking joking.
That was in his colon. The longest tapeworm they've seen in 50 years.
Yeah.
What a
It's
distinction.
been a while. It's been a while. Right back. I gotta turn this fucking AC off.
It's all good, man. This is crazy, Paul. This is a record that would be... You wouldn't want to have this record. Especially, can you imagine this? Like, this guy's on the fucking toilet. He's like, okay, this tapeworm's going to come. He's expecting probably like a 10 fucking inch tapeworm or some the shit, you know, whatever. But then it just like keeps coming. It
He
just
shits
more
a
and more
mile
and
of
more.
tapeworm out. What the
Like, you know, oh, go ahead.
I'm stunned by the fucking planet is so gross and so amazing.
Yeah, I know. Well, you think that tapeworm is something? Wait till you see the one they pull out of Paul. It's going to be 70
dude, if I had
feet.
a tapeworm, there's no way I'd be as fat as I am, dude.
That tapeworm be shriveled, TJ. What are you talking about, man? That tapeworm is fucking slacking on its job. Is it a Paul tapeworm in there? Is he like, oh, I'll get around to fucking sucking those nutrients?
Yeah, dude. Maybe I need a tapeworm. Fucking get skinny.
People have
Tapeworm
done
diet.
it, dude. That's a weight loss method. You can do it.
Yeah. Get some
I wouldn't
tapeworms.
recommend it, but it's possible.
Paul's tapeworm would be a mile long. Wow. I am Paul's tapeworm. Say everyone wants to be your tapeworm,
Shit,
Paul.
Dude, Paul's
Crawl
tapeworm's
up
actually
there,
on the.
then. Quit less talky, more crawl up my ass and eat half the
Paul.
things I eat, so I lose weight.
I think it's saying the tapeworm's saying it's so big though that it's literally in your ass right now. It's just also able to use the internet.
Maybe I am the tapeworm.
Oh shit!
Maybe it's
So this is
subsumed
what it is.
long ago.
Yeah, check it out. I'm bringing the fidget spinner back. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
Everyone, fidget spinners are cool again. Go get a fidget spinner.
Yeah, you just proven that they're not cool again.
They're cool again, Scotty. Shut up. Get you a fidget spinner. You love it. All right.
Is that your new thing, TJ? You're gonna take like old trends and be like, I like these old trends now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some pogs too. It'd be great.
That
Some
might actually be
X-ray
coming back
specs.
though.
Some googly
What's that?
eye glasses and a fake
Oh, hell
Groucho
yeah.
mustache.
A hula hoop.
A hula
Now,
hoop,
fuck
yeah.
Fuck hula hoops. That'll throw my back out. I'll throw my back a mile out. Can't do that.
Can't even do
Chia
one hula
pets.
hoop,
Chia
TJ?
pets are the hot thing right now. Okay.
Chia.
I didn't know that. Analysis: mass shootings signal a dubious back to normal in America. Well, careful what you wish for, I guess. Americans have been saying for a year they want to get back to normal. Tragically, they're getting their wish. With the gradual return to public places comes a specter the country was all too willing to set aside as it grappled with a pandemic capable of killing thousands of Americans a day. Mass shootings are starting to make headlines again. And though their return is most unwelcome, they've proved to be an inextricable part of life in the United States. The latest mass shooting killing 10 in a grocery store. For the past 12 months, Americans have been vigilant in grocery stores to avoid contagion. Monday slayings in Boulder, Colorado reminded them that even with pandemic hope on the horizon, they should remain vigilant for a different reason. Americans shouldn't have to fret about dying in a supermarket or at a spa or anywhere for that matter. Catching a bullet should be far from their minds, but with a return to American normalcy comes the reality that anyone could die for nothing, just about everywhere. Dude,
oh, fuck.
I saw an interview with a guy. I saw an interview with a guy. Actually, I didn't see it, but Chelsea was telling me about it. Where she was watching this interview, and someone was there at the store who's like, I just went out to get some ice cream and I almost died. I'm just like,
What the fuck?
ain't that America, land of the free? Yeah. Anywhere, anytime, you can just die.
Can I
got
say
some
something, dude?
Go ahead.
I'm tired of being fucking vigilant. I know we got some youngsters in here who haven't been doing it for as long as I have, but man, dude, I've been vigilant since 9/11/2001. You know what I mean? The vigil. Yeah. I need to be relieved on the goddamn vigil for a little while. Why do we always remain vigilant?
Because there's always something trying to kill us. I have some gun nuts like on my Twitter and stuff because I try to like follow a good cross section of everybody. And I just always think it's funny, like when a shooting happens, how fucking the gun nuts are like, oh no, my guns. It's just always like the immediate reaction, like, oh no, now the liberals are going to try to take my guns. My guns.
It's funny how little they truly value human life,
like,
except their own.
It's like a bunch of people are just shot. It's like, oh no, that's terrible news. Now they're going to come for my gun. It's like, yeah, they're not coming for your gun, guy. This happens like,
the gun
constantly.
didn't do it, though. TJ, look, the gun didn't fire itself.
I got this fucking weirdo on my Twitter right now. Like, he's posted like 12,000 variations of the same fucking tweet where he's just like, if you don't understand this fact about guns, then you can't even talk about this. And it's always like, it's like basically if you're not like an expert on guns, you're not allowed to talk about gun policy. Like you have to understand the mechanics of a gun to be able to talk about the policy of like guns in public and like what guns are appropriate and shit. I'm
Just
not
trying to control the conversation.
I just find these people fucking hilarious, man.
Dude,
I'm not even mention this fucking endless, pointless gun control debate we have in America where nothing will happen. So
Monty Python and the Holy Grail presaged the internet. I swear to God, that fucking, what was this? The warlock named Mike or whatever the fuck. The gatekeeper, the ultimate gatekeeper.
Oh, yeah.
None may pass without my permission. Dude, 90% of the internet is out there to tell you why you can't talk. Like, I was doing a ideology today, and trans issues came up. And there was a big kerfluffle in the chat because I was giving my opinion on trans issues. Because somebody in there felt like I was pretending to be like some expert or something. You can't give an opinion anymore without somebody calling you out for trying to be an expert or whatever the fuck. There's just a million of these people.
You're not allowed to talk about this because you're not whatever. You got to fucking have some kind of a credentialization in their minds. Like, unless you meet I mean, it's like a really easy way to control a debate, right? Unless you meet the litmus test of you have to meet X, Y, and Z benchmark, and if you don't, you're not even allowed to discuss this issue on any level.
It depends on how you're representing yourself. Are you representing yourself as an authority? Then I understand the criticism. But if it's not that, if it's just like simply that like you don't agree, like, oh, I don't agree with you, so therefore you don't understand how guns work, you're out for the debate. You know, you can't fucking be a part of it. Why not? But it's a pointless debate anyways. Why are these conservatives even fucking? Why would they even sweat this? They shouldn't even fucking give a fuck. They're not going to do anything. It's not going to happen.
They're just so paranoid about it that like they don't even care. It's just like the fucking slightest mention of like, maybe we should like do something about that. Like any fucking semblance of like anyone trying to do anything on this front freaks them right the fuck out. Like to the point where they're like, no, they're coming for the guns. They're coming. It's like, dude, even if the government announced tomorrow guns are banned, like there's so many fucking guns out there, they're not going to be able to get your guns. It's just not even like a feasible fucking thing. Until they have their robot army that can just like burst in your house and take your guns, they're not going to be able to do it.
Can't happen soon enough. Strap the fucking taser weapons to the backs of those weird fucking Boston Dynamics dogs already and send them in.
Send them on in. Boulder shooting suspect Ahmad Alisi or Alisi, I don't know, Alyssa. It looks like it's just Alyssa, but that can't be right, can it? Anyway, had issues with family before store massacre as cops probe mental health. A lot of people, by the way, shocked that this dude is like 21. It's like, oh my God, he looks so much older. But apparently that's just like a lot of Arab genetics kind of like lead to this.
What?
So,
Wait a minute,
yeah.
What? Arab genetics lead to what?
Lead to looking fucking 35 when you're 20, basically. I mean, it's true. Boulder massacre suspect Ahmad Ali Alawa Alisa is believed to have had issues with his family prior to his alleged killing spree. I don't think this. Do we really have to use alleged here?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
you
know,
do.
it's like,
he's fucking crazy.
law enforcement officials are investigating his mental health leading up to the shooting that left 10 dead. Blah, 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 blah. A source with knowledge of intelligence shared between FBI and other law enforcement working on the investigation told The Sun there is a suspicion he was having issues with his family. His mental health is also being looked into. So here's a little bullet point. The revelations. 10 people dead. We know that. Witnesses said a man in tactical body armor shot victims one by one with a rifle during the rampage. A bearded suspect wearing only his underwear and covered in blood was led away in handcuffs. Police revealed the name of the alleged gunman, Ahmad Alawi Alissa, who has been charged with murder. 10 counts, actually, of murder. Boulder police officer Eric Talley, 51, was one of those killed. The names of the 10 victims killed in the massacre have been revealed. It was revealed Alyssa was allegedly known by the FBI prior to the shooting. President Biden called for tighter gun checks, as it was reported that the alleged shooter bought the gun just days before. I read some shit about like this dude's like classmates in high school and shit. And they basically said like this dude had like a hair trigger temper, would fly off the handle at the fucking slightest notice. He'd be like totally normal 1 second and then just like a raving fucking crazy psycho the next. Apparently he like punched somebody for no fucking discernible reason. When he was asked why, he said like that they'd like mocked him or something, but they hadn't done anything as far as anyone could tell. Dude had a massive persecution complex, thought that everyone was racist against him for being Arab or whatever, even though like people hadn't said shit. He would just like walk in and be like, everyone fucking is racist against me, even though no one had said or done anything. So just like a super paranoid personality with a hair trigger temper, goes out, buys a gun. 6 days later, he's fucking, going through the supermarket in body armor, fucking mowing people down.
Do you see, I think you did see, fucking Mr. the Milkman's delivering his milk himself, Michael Moore, showing a little bit of that fucking Michael Moore kicking the beehive edge again. He made a tweet that was like, I don't know this guy's name. Ahmad Alyssa is proof that Arab Americans assimilate perfectly into American culture. You know what I mean? And everybody in the fucking replies like, fuck you, bitch. And it's like, fuck you. It is part of American culture now for people to flip out and take a gun to a public place and kill a bunch of people, you dipshit.
If it's not part of our culture, then why does it happen so much?
Oh, and only here too.
Yeah. So it's like, what part of this tweet are you denying exactly? And Dave Rubin was in the comments, and Dave Rubin was like, you are a despicable human being, Michael Moore.
Oh my God. Despicable. That was one of my favorite fucking Twitter threads in a long time, dude, because the tears in that, dude, we should look at that fucking tweet. Cause like, dude, I'm telling you, the tears in that thread alone. Fucking epic.
Hold on. Yeah. Let me, grab that up. Let me just make sure there's nothing, unsavory in the fucking thread itself.
I mean, it's Twitter, so what are you gonna do? There's gonna be.
Well, I mean, like, let me just make sure there ain't like a big giant fucking pair of titties or like a dick bobbling.
Is that unsavory to you, TJ?
It's unsavory to YouTube. You know that.
A pair of a pair of female breasts is a bad thing now. Body shamer and this Arab genetics comment. I'm thinking it's time to cancel TJ this episode, dude.
Wait, hold on. What is this?
Arab genetics, dude.
They've got Arab genetics that makes them look strange.
Apparently, Arab genetics make people look super duper old.
They do. A lot of Arab dudes look fucking way older than they actually are. So I don't know what the fuck I'm being canceled for that for, because that's just a
Cancel,
fact.
TJ.
Michael Moore supports gun violence and terrorism, says Tim Pool, who I guess doesn't understand this tweet. So anyway, here's Michael Moore. The life of Ahmad al-Alawi. I am really shit at foreign names. You guys know this. Shows that people can come from all over the world and truly assimilate into our beloved American culture. And then he's got the fucking Statue of Liberty and shit. All right. What a vile creature you have become.
I don't disagree with Dave Rubin entirely. Like, Michael Moore has become kind of a vile creature, but Dave Rubin has no fucking room to talk. He's a vile fucking creature too. It's like Yog-Sothoth says to Cthulhu, what a disgusting, unimaginable horror you are.
Did you really tweet this? We allowed him refuge in our country, and he repaid us by murdering our own people. This is the most heartless tweet I've seen in a long time.
Conservative virtue signaling. I love it, dude. You're heartless, Michael Moore. You're disgusting.
Was he born here, though? Like, they say we allowed him into our country. Was he not born in our country?
I'm not sure. Refuge, TJ. and he repaid us by shooting people.
What's the dude's name again? Alawi something or another. Ahmad Aliwi
Alyssa.
Yeah, I'm just curious if he was born in America or if he was actually let here.
Or if he immigrated.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
what I'm saying.
No idea.
Let's see. Does he have a Wikipedia page?
I'm sure he does at this point.
Yeah, I mean he's a mass shooter, right? Doesn't look like they gave him one. Okay, here's.
You could look up like Boulder.
All right, hold on.
shooting.
They got some biographical information here.
Okay.
No, there's really not much here. Yeah, I'm having trouble finding that information off the fucking cuff, so
Oh,
I don't know.
probably come out later.
Maybe this. Check one more thing. No, they just have like the facts of the crime. They don't really have nothing about his fucking life before that. So, oh well, whatever. Who gives a shit? Doesn't really matter. This is still a histrionic, over the top, fucking virtue signaling bullshit tweet.
I mean, it doesn't stop.
I hate people who live in America and hate America. You know nothing about what the world is like out there. I'm an immigrant who made it here. No society is perfect. No country is. But we all flock to US because it is better than most / all. Stop bashing America. Series of emojis.
Angry, steaming emoji, prayer, face palm is what I'm saying. This is why I'm bad at emojis, because I have no fucking clue what is that supposed to convey?
Stop bashing America.
For you, and I'm embarrassed at what you said. Biden bombs Syria. Syrian immigrant becomes mass shooter. Biden has blood on his hands.
Fuck
I mean,
you. Checkmate.
I mean, wouldn't all of the political? I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with this guy. If you just take it from Biden to like the entire political infrastructure of America, then
Yeah,
maybe there'd be a point.
Like their political party's not going to kill a bunch of people.
This is apparently a really good fucking response. I don't know. What does this mean? There's just like a bunch of hands writing that's worth 4.6 thousand. Like, what is, there's some meaning here I'm not privy to.
Yeah, we're too dumb.
Like, what am I fucking missing? Does anyone get this? No?
I mean, no.
Does anyone in the chat get it? Can someone explain it to me? I know I need an explanation of what I'm looking at here. Hands writing? I don't.
Hands across America, writing it down.
Emoji language is too complex.
Writing's on the wall? I don't know.
I don't speak idiot, so I need someone to translate. Clapping sarcasm. I don't know.
Could you translate this idiot for me?
Just gave up on being any sort of decent human then, huh? Yeah. Oh, the check marks are out in full force.
I gotta cash in. Oh, Michael Moore said something I can use. Oh my God. Thank you, Michael Moore.
Shh. Shut up. Bow in reverence of the Shrek meme. Don't move. I'm filming a documentary about retards.
Got him.
Oh, Shrek meme.
Got him.
Oh, Shrek meme. You are so funny.
Dude, you know somebody hit the right timbre and spoke some truth when people fucking react like this, dude.
I know.
Ape get mad when people speak truth.
Better watch that, TJ. You mocked the wrong gorilla. You know what happened to you.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm surprised you had the balls to do that after what happened to you on Monday.
I mean, me and the gorilla talked about it afterwards, and you know,
in the fucking ICU.
Hey, you know, do I look like I was in the ICU? I'm fine.
TJ, you were knocked unconscious, dude. I don't think there was any talking going on.
Yeah, that's because
brace behind that beard.
He sucker punched me. We know this.
There's a neck brace behind that beard. He fucked you up.
General Mills CEO says it's highly unlikely that any shrimp tails went into Cinnamon Toast Crunch at its facility. So I don't know if you guys saw this.
Is that Woody Harrelson?
Yes, that is Woody Harrelson preparing for his role as Carnage in the upcoming Venom versus Carnage film, or whatever the fuck it's called.
It's gonna be carnage.
Oh, stop.
Anyway, so apparently yesterday there's a big kerfuffle about some dude that found a shrimp tail in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And the General Mills CEO is like, no, that didn't happen.
Bullshit.
So, let's see.
So, Jeff, you mentioned the serial comeback. You know we've got to ask you about the story that has gone absolutely viral with Cinnamon.
I'm done with the word viral. No more viral.
It's gone absolutely viral.
Everything's
I'm done with
viral
it.
now.
I'm done with it. Yeah.
Toast Crunch. A man named Jensen Karp says that he found shrimp
Wait.
tails in a box of Histon.
The guy who found it was named Carp. Okay.
A carp found shrimp tails.
Jensen Karp.
Well, it is amazing the amount of news coverage this story has generated. And I must admit that some of it is kind of humorous. But you know what I want you to know on your
Damn.
General Mills stock is like bloop. It's like, oh shit. We gotta address this
actually-
shit.
We gotta. Oh man. That's that. Oof.
That's probably unrelated. The stock market's down in general right now.
your viewers to know is that we take food safety very seriously at General Mills. And based on the information we have right now, it is highly unlikely that this occurred at a General Mills facility. And so right now we're in the process of working with that consumer to try to figure out kind of what happened between it left our docks and when he opened it. And so, you know, hopefully at a later date, we'll have more to share.
Well, it's in a sealed plastic bag, isn't it? I mean, like, what's the contention
to this
here?
dude, it was.
Yeah, I mean, like this dude, the most likely explanation for this is that it did happen in your facility, or this dude just fucking wanted to go viral and threw some shrimp tails, you know, in the fucking. I found shrimp tails in my fucking cereal. You guys.
Well, what's more likely? I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, maybe it's possible that they're manufacturing these things and there happens to be a bunch of shrimp around. I mean, I don't know. That seems kind of like, why would you have shrimp there?
Dude, maybe somebody that was working at the facility took a quick little shrimp cocktail break or something and just like flung the,
On the factory floor.
yeah, just flung the
Some
tails.
disgruntled General Mills employees like, fucking piece of shit consumer, eat shrimp tail, bitch. You know?
Probably someone looking for their 15 minutes of fame.
Dude, if I
More than
found
likely.
shrimp tails in Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I would pour milk on them bitches and eat them motherfuckers up.
Yeah, man. This could be a new fucking product for General Mills. Cinnamon toast shrimp tails, man. That sounds good.
Because you know that if those shrimp
Well,
tails
they
were
have that
actually
in
in the
Thailand.
box, they were dusted with that delicious cinnamon sugar fucking blend.
Yeah, dude. That's
Part of
good
this nutritional
shit.
breakfast.
That's good shit, y'all.
Oh, you know what? If you add shrimp, they can say now featuring protein. They'll keep you full longer and on the go.
Yeah, man.
Woody
That's
Harrelson,
true.
a man
Got
of
it.
many hats, apparently. CEO of General Mills. Upcoming star of Carnage.
Dude, hell yeah. I mean, that Carnage movie, I mean, let's just be honest. That's going to be amazing. Woody Harrelson's going to be amazing in it.
It's not going to be amazing, TJ. It's going to be carnage.
You're right. You're right, Paul.
Oh.
Paul!
Yeah.
Paul!
What?
All right.
What?
You're
all right.
Paul, you're right!
I know.
All right.
Paul, you're fucking right, Paul!
Paul!
God, you're right!
I know.
You're right.
All right, just making sure you know. I just want to make sure you know that.
Hey, Paul.
I know.
You're right.
I know.
You're so right,
Right.
dude.
Oh my
You're
God.
fucking
I'll
right,
never
Paul.
stop this.
It's
I'll
all
never
in my
get
mind. You're
tired of
right.
this. I'm right.
Paul,
Yeah.
listen to me. I want you to fucking seriously right now, all right?
I'm tuning in.
So, listen. Paul,
Yeah.
you're please don't interrupt. I want to
Sorry.
tell you something. You need to know this.
Yeah.
Paul, you're right.
I know. Thank you.
Okay. All right, good. Just making sure you know. 6-year-old in North Carolina arrested for picking flour from lawn.
Well, I mean, look, we we live in a society, don't we, Batman?
Finally.
And we have to have rules in the society. And look, if a toddler can come and pick a daisy off of a lawn, I mean, what kind of fucking What degraded state? Are we really not just going back to the jungle at that point and resigning ourselves to a life of ape-like swinging from the trees?
Society collapses. I mean, let's
There's
just be honest.
boundaries. There's property lines. There's boundaries. And if the child did not own the flowers, the child stole the flowers.
If children are allowed to go around willy-nilly picking flowers out of people's lawns, society crumbles.
What's next, TJ? Your car is missing? Oh, the 6-year-old needed to pick the car away from you. Huh?
It's a slippery slope. Slippery slope. Children as young as 6 years old can be charged and go to juvenile court in North Carolina.
Younger.
According to the Winston-Salem Journal, a 6-year-old boy was recently charged with injury to real property for picking a tulip from a yard at his bus stop.
Oh, my fucking God.
Julie Boyer, the boy's attorney, said his attention span was so short she had him color a picture during the court proceedings. The 2020 North Carolina TISC Force. I think they meant to say task force, but I think actually TISC Force is actually more
Thank you,
appropriate here.
Tisk.
You picked the wrong flower, kid. Center for Racial Equity and Criminal Justice recommends raising the age to 12. How about not prosecuting someone for picking a fucking flower, no matter what their age is?
That sounds about right.
A 6-year-old, we're talking about someone that's in kindergarten. The age is not even the thing here for me. Like, picking a flower should not be a fucking crime. Like, if you go and destroy someone's flower hedge or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, so this is a stupid fucking story.
I think they're just talking about the fact that the age is a huge issue. They're saying that under the existing laws, a 6-year-old can be charged with this. Like, it doesn't make sense. They don't have the mental capacity to understand that taking the flower is theft. I mean, the fact that the person who owned the said flower wanted them prosecuted is probably the even more astonishing thing. Like, that boy picked the flower. Call the authorities. And then the police show up and for some reason take it seriously enough to say, let us prosecute a child for picking a flower.
That there ruffian done stole my prize-winning tulip.
It's like, all right, good.
Okay. Right. I got you.
Bernie Sanders says he's uncomfortable about Trump's ban from Twitter. Self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders said he felt uncomfortable about Twitter banning Donald Trump while he was still president. So here's what Sanders said.
Look, you have a former president in Trump who was a racist, a sexist, a xenophobe, a pathological liar, an authoritarian, somebody who doesn't believe in rule of law. This is a bad news guy.
It's a bad news show.
Do I feel particularly comfortable that then president of the United States could not express his views on Twitter? I don't feel comfortable about that.
He went on to say that basically it was just like fear, like, oh, well, if this guy can be censored as an elected official, then I could be censored as an elected official. If I was like, oh, I'm saying things that the mainstream media doesn't like or the big tech industry doesn't like, they could censor me. And I guess that people are surprised that this would be the Bernie Sanders position on this. I'm not really all that surprised because I'm sure that he probably has throughout the course of his life had the powers that be try to shut him up. I mean, we've definitely seen that happen. So I'm not really too surprised by this. I feel like, though, Trump was given an awful lot of leeway on Twitter. Like, he violated their TOS pretty routinely as president. And it was pretty obvious that the only reason that his account wasn't banned then is because he was president. So I don't know. I'm kind of two minds about this one. Because, like, I don't really feel like the president should have special rights on a fucking social media platform just because they're the president. But at the same time, you know, I could kind of see how you'd be like, well, what the president says and thinks. And, like, honestly, it was kind of cool to have that window into Trump's mind just so, like, you know, you could keep your tabs on that son of a bitch.
I mean, but he also used it to signal boost, the rally that stormed the fucking Capitol and shit, and get everybody on board with that and legitimize that.
Well,
that was
the actual
reason that
violence
ended up getting fucking banned in the first place.
Well, I think this is usually discussed. Usually, the line that most people draw is that does it lead to actual violence, and in this case, it did. So, I mean, that's a pretty egregious violation of that platform and using social media to whip up basically rebellion. I mean, so at that point, it's kind of hard to say that he probably shouldn't have been banned or at least censored in some way. I mean, fuck, people fucking end up dying because of that.
I mean, I remember back early on in his presidency when he was tweeting like some really saber rattly shit at like I think it was North Korea and Iran. Just like, we will destroy you. We will fucking annihilate you and turn you into a fucking nuclear wasteland. If you
Rocket Man, remember that?
Yeah,
he called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man. He's basically provoking North Korea on Twitter.
So he's like, he's like going on Twitter, like starting wars and shit. I mean, I guess a war didn't start, but like,
yeah,
he was engaging in the kind of rhetoric that could start a war on Twitter. It's like, if I went on Twitter and was like telling people like, I'm going to fucking come over to you and fuck you up, like my Twitter account is banned for that, Yeah, but he is the president, so he has more of an official capacity to threaten people. So I don't know. Just kind of a fucking weird thing.
I don't think that the president or any other high-ranking official should communicate anything on Twitter or any other fucking private platform.
Not a good idea.
Yeah. You're probably right about that. I almost feel like maybe there should just be like a government-run social media platform that like exists to fucking for these people to get their thoughts out there, maybe.
Yeah.
If they want to like communicate with like a social media platform that's just for politicians, maybe. But people are not going to go to that usually, so the people will just be like,
they'll be better off for it. Like
a place full of politicians. I don't know.
People don't need like, and look at what it's allowed too. Like, I'm gonna catch shit for this, but how it's allowed like AOC to continue to be worshipped while doing basically nothing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna get beaten in the streets.
I know. I'm gonna get drug out by my fucking hair and tarred and feathered in the streets. But like, social media plus politicians equals bad news bears for a number of reasons. It's access to a revenue stream. It's fucking the ability to signal boost things, the ability to use these things to make inorganic advertisements look like organic happenings to boost your fucking campaign. I just think it should be illegal for fucking politicians to use social media to.
Well, it puts them even more in bed with these, companies they're supposed to be ostensibly talking about regulating. It's like, oh yeah, you depend on this platform, but suddenly you're going to bite the hand that feeds you and regulate them and do what they don't want you to do. Because all these tech companies are completely against any regulation. They want to self-regulate. That's always going to be their answer. Like, oh look, if the government steps in, it's going to be too intrusive. We can handle it ourselves, which is it's a common practice in the industry. It's like, video games. The government threatened to regulate them. What do they do? Oh, we're going to form our own little industry. The MPAA, same fucking deal. That's what these tech companies want to do, except they have way more control over what you see and what you hear and what you know. So it's not the same sort of thing. So I tend to agree with you on that.
So, I mean, like, when it comes to politicians on like Twitter and stuff, would your point of view be more like they shouldn't be on there, or is it like there should be some kind of mechanism stopping them from being on there?
I mean, at this point, I think that just the way that social media, the distorting lens that it's become, I don't think that politicians should be on there. Like, maybe allowing local politicians to use it as a way to talk, because it makes more sense. You know what I mean? You're talking to the people that live in your community or whatever the fuck. But these national politicians having tomato throwing Twitter wars and getting ponage points on each other and shit like that. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know.
You become more of a media figure. You become more of you actually become an internet personality more so. AOC is more of an internet personality, if we're being honest, than a politician, because she can play to this huge audience. Like, normally, if like you're a congressperson from whatever district, no one even fucking knows your name. They don't know shit about you. AOC is actually a celebrity, probably more so than a politician. If you talk about the way people recognize her in their mind, it's true.
I think that's accurate. Let's see. Ex-Trump lawyer Sidney Powell argues no reasonable person would believe her conspiracy theories.
I love this defense these guys trot out every time.
Tucker Carlson defended his show with this argument. Alex Jones defended his show with this argument. But you know what? The problem I have with this line of reasoning is this argument. I agree with you that no reasonable person would believe you, but this country is not made up entirely of reasonable people. There's tons of unreasonable people who are believing you, who are acting on your shit. Like,
are most people always rational?
what is this weird standard of like, look, sane people don't believe what I'm saying. Only crazy people believe what I'm saying. So it's like your argument is that your audience is crazy. Like, what the fuck kind of argument is that? But it works because Tucker Carlson won a case with that shit just like a couple years back. Maybe less than a couple years.
And this kind of goes to my point about public figures using social media to signal boost ridiculous conspiracy theories that a bunch of crazy people end up believing because they're national figures or adjacent to national figures, and then run away with this defense with their tail between their legs when they're caught out doing something ridiculous.
Hey,
you know
now, wait a minute. Everyone should have known I was crazy. Come on.
I don't think they're crazy. They know what they're just the con artist in it. They're just the person saying like what these people want to hear and what they've whipped them up into believing. And then it just becomes convenient when you're called on it to go, oh, well, no one that's sane or rational or reasonable would ever come to this conclusion because I have no evidence for what I'm saying. I'm an entertainment personality. I'm an entertainer. And that's what they do with a lot of Fox News opinion pieces like Hannity and this book. This is when they're called on their bullshit. Oh, well, this is for entertainment only. But what is that ever said in that show? These are presented as news shows. They're not presented as entertainment shows. And they know that. It's disingenuous at best.
Indeed, plaintiffs themselves characterize the statements at issue as wild accusations, outlandish claims, the filing says. They are repeatedly labeled inherently improbable and even impossible. Such characterizations of the allegedly defamatory statements further support defendants' position that reasonable people would not accept such statements as fact, but view them only as claims that await testing by courts.
Isn't it just shifting the blame?
The adversary process.
This is just shifting the blame. This is legal speak to say those people are morons, so whatever I said doesn't matter. You're the one saying the shit. If you're out there as the mouthpiece or the fucking figurehead or whatever you want to be fucking called, if you go out there and say some shit and then just say, well, the fucking mob that listen to me is a bunch of morons, so it's not my fucking problem. It just takes all the blame away from you and puts it on the consumer. It's like giant manufacturers pumping out fucking chemicals. Well, people want plastic, so when that it clogs up streams and oceans, it's not our fault. It's the consumer for wanting that. Well, who's making it? Who's selling it to them? Who's the one that chose all that shit? But it's not your fucking fault, right? How convenient. When it comes time to pay the bill, I left my wallet at home. I'm really sorry. Man, this is just fucking weak shit. And they just know it because it's a fucking legal defense. And they're probably, they're probably going to get away with it. This bitch is going to get away with this shit. Because she's going to fucking keep her mouth shut and go, oh, well, I didn't really know it was just a bunch of fucking talking out of both sides of her mouth. Hire her lawyer up. And they just beat it. It's typical shit in America. So what are we even fucking surprised?
I'm not surprised. I never fucking
surprised. I'm just saying, like, I don't even know. Like, it's like I watch this show as we do it, and it's just every fucking week. It's like I totally empathize with Paul on this shit because you read this shit, and it's like the hypocrisy and the bullshit is so fucking blatant and obvious, and have people fucking defend scumbags like this. Like, are you fucking? I don't know how fucking dumb you could possibly be. I just don't get it. Either you're just purposefully ignorant or you just don't fucking know or you don't fucking care and you just want to believe whatever the fuck it is you want to believe. That's why I'm talking about this fucking shit. It's like, it's all emotional. Most people, everyone here has been irrational. I've seen Paul get irrational. I've seen you get irrational plenty of fucking times over fucking movie monsters or some shit. So they have this standard applies to everybody because at some point someone's going to be unreasonable about something. It's the most insane shit, but it's actually true in a way. It's fucking brilliant.
Home surveillance camera shows officer lied on report when charging man with major crimes.
What?
Now this one is surprising, isn't it?
Oh yeah, this is the shocking one.
Now this one you got to admit, this one, come on. I mean, you never would have thought I don't know if this video is related or not. We could take a look.
Claims in a police report was saved by a home surveillance camera. The footage showed he did not attack an officer as claimed in the report. I2 investigator Adam Walser spoke to the Lake Wales man and hears from local leaders who say it's not the first time they've heard complaints about heavy-handed policing in their small town.
I stopped at a stop sign right here on 3rd Street, and I noticed the officer behind me way before I even stopped.
Chris Cordero was driving to Publix February 8th to pick up medicine for his young son when Lake Wales police officer Colt Black pulled him over. Unbeknownst to the officer, a camera across the street captured it all.
I get out the vehicle to ask him what's going on because, you know, he's been following me for a while.
Cordero stands by his car for more than 20 seconds, but Officer Black's report says Cordero immediately exited the driver door and began to charge towards my patrol vehicle. It says right here in this report, this officer filed in the court.
He charged my vehicle. He jumped out of his car and charged my vehicle. Madness and malice in his eyes. He looked like a demon. It's like, oh my God, dude. The fuck? Dude's just standing there by the car.
Clenched fist.
The good old
That's
boys club
absolutely not
strikes
true.
again.
Officer Black approaches Cordero 30 seconds later.
He sucker punched me from the back right here, cracked a piece of my tooth out. I landed on the ground.
Moments later, Officer Travis Worley arrives. It's hard to see exactly what happens next, but you can make out a struggle behind the car.
They both jumped on me and beat me up really bad.
In the report, Officer Black says he delivered an elbow strike to the left side of Cordero's head because he thought he was reaching for a weapon.
Cops.
Fucking thugs, man.
I love
Fucking
cops, man.
oinkers, man.
So great. So wonderful. Yeah.
Well,
Never get out of your...
I'm glad that these fucking home camera systems and shit are becoming ever more ubiquitous because it's becoming harder and harder for these podunk small town cops to get away with this type of gaffling up of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the purpose here? Did he just like decide he was gonna beat this guy up?
It's because he got out of his car. The cop saw that. The cop saw the dude get out of his car, and he's like, "This is an inherently fucking aggressive move towards me. I'm gonna beat this guy's ass." Don't get out of your fucking car. Unless the cop tells you to get out of your car, stay in your fucking car, because they will use it as an excuse to beat the shit out of you, as you can see here. I don't know. I guess like the list of fucking behaviors you can engage in to not get your fucking shit fucked up by the police just gets narrower and narrower. Like, you guys remember that fucking hotel video a while back?
Mm-hmm.
The dude was in the fucking lobby of the hotel, and like the cop was like giving him like contradictory and confusing instructions, and he's like, "If you don't follow my instructions, I'll shoot you. Keep your hands up and crawl towards me." It's like, what? How the fuck I'm supposed to do that? And the guy's like,
baby get shot in the head, TJ. What was the baby supposed to do to not get shot in the head?
yeah, exactly. Shouldn't have been in that car.
What about people that are sleeping at their apartments that get shot in the head?
Shouldn't have been
How about
sleeping in
those
that
people?
apartment.
Shouldn't have been sleeping there around criminals. You know, there's always a reason, right? There's always some fucking excuse as to why that person could have done something different. And if you get the police dead to rights, like they just clearly commit murder, then it's the bad apple. Oh, it's the one bad guy.
The one and only bad cop. We got him, you guys.
Guys, don't worry.
Policing in America is fixed, you guys. We got him. We got
Bad
the
apple
out of the bunch.
We throw him out.
Woo! That was crazy, but we finally got him. We got Bad Lieutenant, you guys. Nicolas Cage ain't getting away with it this time.
Well, he resigned.
All right. Yeah, he resigned. Oh, yeah, of course he resigned.
With pay.
He was allowed to resign. He wasn't thrown in the very fucking prison that it was his job to fill for assault and abuse of his station. He just got to resign.
To take into account, Paul, his years of service to the community.
Of course.
Right.
You know,
I'm sure they were exemplary.
Got it.
I'm sure he didn't lie constantly and deceive people. Oh yeah, you know, another thing we've seen with cops lying about those drug busts. Remember that, where the people don't have any drugs on them, but they have priors, so they just conveniently find drugs, like David Copperfield. Oh, is this your meth? I've never seen a meth before in my life. A likely story, sir. Right this way to prison. Come on. These motherfuckers lie all the time. They don't give a fuck about lying on you.
It's like, all right, sure.
They have no problem lying about what you do, because think about ultimately when they tell that lie, it's their ass versus yours. Which one do you think they care more about? Which one would you care more about?
It's that Bill Hicks bit. Pick up the gun. I don't know, mister. I think if I pick up the gun, you're going to shoot me. Pick up the gun. Did you see him? He went for that gun. I love that shit.
Oh, Bill Hicks.
Louisiana may owe abortion clinics lawyers $8.6 million.
Good.
Louisiana taxpayers could be forced to pay nearly $9 million in legal expenses after the state's failed effort to enforce a 2014 abortion law, which the Supreme Court blocked last summer. The law in question was nearly identical to a Texas abortion regulation that was struck down by the High Court in 2016. The Center for Reproductive Rights on Monday evening filed a request for $8.4 million in attorney's fees and another $250,000 in non-taxable expenses. Amounts that the law firm incurred fighting Louisiana's Act 620, the Unsafe Abortion Protection Act. The law would have required doctors who provide abortions to obtain admitting privileges at a hospital no more than 30 miles away. And had it gone into effect, all three of the state's facilities that offer abortion services would have been forced to stop providing the procedure.
A de facto ban. Yes.
Yes. In June, the Supreme Court struck down the law on a 5-4 vote because the Center for Reproductive Rights prevailed. The New York-based group is allowed to recover costs associated with the case. Louisiana's Office of the Attorney General has until April 12th to file its response. Like how they try to get me upset about this. Louisiana taxpayers forced to pay. It's like, yeah, I pay taxes in this state, and I'd rather they go to these abortion lawyers than go to this fucking state. So,
right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pass an unconstitutional law. That's great. Thank you, Louisiana. You know, the state should have to fucking pay. Yeah, and I agree with TJ.
You really want to get me mad? Tell me how much of my fucking taxpayer money went to do nothing public officials and bureaucrats and shit. That's what pisses me off. I don't care that some taxpayer money went to restitution of people who got fucked over by the local government.
Yeah, or it's like, or your tax dollars go to, like, you know, bombing people in countries across the globe, or or subjugating them
roads
to U.S.
schools,
imperialist rule
people?
and shit. It's like, okay, yeah.
If that money goes towards that,
that's the tax dollars I'm concerned about. A lot of things. My tax dollars go to a lot of shit that I don't really like. So this one, I'm not really getting too fucking upset about. Someone's actually fighting for liberty. Cool. Yeah, give them some money. I'm okay with it. A man drove his car through a crowd at an anti-Asian violence rally and yelled, "Fuck China!"
Wow.
What a guy. Let's see.
Fella.
Diamond Bar, California.
Fuck China.
Fucking China.
What? You doing something else?
Like, why does he pull over and then the recording stops?
Yeah, this is really weird.
I don't know if there's like a part 2 here or what's going on.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know what the fuck this second part is here.
What does it say? What does the article say?
A man drove his car through a red light into a moving crowd at an anti-Asian violence rally in Los Angeles on Sunday while repeatedly yelling "fuck China" in yet another display of anti-Asian racism. Officials at the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department
wait a minute.
BuzzFeed News. Yes.
Dude, this looked spurious.
Spurious? Why is that?
This looked spurious because like it looked like almost like a planned fucking event. Like watch it again, dude.
All right. Oh shit, what happened?
I'm not giving it a fair evaluation.
So these guys are like screaming at this
Get out of
guy
your car,
already,
pull up.
right? He's
Yeah.
in a totally blacked out car. He waits for people to stop. He pulls around.
Yeah, he could have easily hit them. That would have been
Yells
difficult
"fuck
to do.
China," and then it looks like he pulls over, and then the video stops.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
why
see.
would you pull? That is weird.
Well, he has. I think that we have the dude's name and shit because you can see his.
Okay, I mean, I'm not
stuff
saying
on
it.
there.
I mean,
It says his license plate. Okay, it says they're working on identifying. I'm pretty sure that they have identified him since this, but maybe this is. Maybe I'm wrong about that. The LASD said Tuesday they're working on identifying the driver because his license plate is visible, who they describe as a white man in his 50s. A person who filmed one of the videos did not respond to a request for comment. County Supervisor Janice Hahn, who attended the rally, said she had left just minutes before the incident happened, tweeting that she was disgusted. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really see any reason to think it was fake, but I guess it could be.
dude, with social media, you just gotta be very careful.
I mean, like people definitely have staged incidents in order to get social media clout.
I still
so.
trust like this shit. When I see something that doesn't make sense, like people are filming this protest, right? Some dude cruises by and says "fuck China," pulls his car over. That seems like right when you want to keep rolling, but it stops.
So did he pull over?
Yeah, he pulls over.
Yes, he does.
Look at that. And then the person goes, "Stop him." And then immediately like ends the video. It's like he stopped already. What do you mean stop him?
Yeah.
It's almost like they wanted you to see "fuck China," but the afterwards of "did you get it that time?" They didn't want you to see that. So it just looks spurious. Like it looks like there was a bigger confrontation that went on that for some reason somebody's instinct was, let's turn off my fucking phone and not record that.
Yeah, that is a little weird, I guess.
I mean, watch it one more time. I'm not trying to be a fucking, I don't trust this social media shit.
I don't blame you.
Where something cuts. Like, look at him.
Yeah, they cover the lens even. Like they're like
immediately like, okay, we got what we needed. Let's turn this off. Dude's pulling over.
And the second video doesn't even is there anything to do with the incident with this second video or
no?
Second video seems to have nothing to do with anything. It's just like ambiance of the environment.
Who the fuck knows, dude?
So I don't know. I guess we have time for one more story. Elon Musk announces Teslas can now be bought with Bitcoin. But due to the high volatility of Bitcoin, a customer could receive significantly less than they originally paid if they want a refund.
How does that work out? Do I get significantly more than I paid if I want a refund if Bitcoin goes up?
I mean, that makes sense to me.
So
I don't know.
People could start using Teslas as Bitcoin investments. You know what I mean? Like instead of buying Bitcoin, they could put all their Bitcoin into buying Teslas and then process refunds like 2 weeks later when Bitcoin goes up.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, like you could just wait for the Bitcoin itself to go up in that much value. I don't know.
How's this work?
I mean, the car would still depreciate. I don't know. I don't really know how that would work. Elon Musk took to Twitter this morning to announce that customers will soon be able to buy a new Tesla using Bitcoin instead of fiat currency. He just went on there 2 a.m. It's like, you can now buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. I love how that announcement was made on Twitter at 2 a.m.
Why not?
The move to accept Bitcoins as payments comes roughly a month after Tesla announced it bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and that it had plans to enable Bitcoin as payment option in the future. In a further tweet, Musk clarified that Tesla would not convert the Bitcoin payments into fiat cash and would instead hold on to the Bitcoin as Bitcoin. Okay. The company also published a Bitcoin FAQ on its website, notifying customers that Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency it will accept. It also warned customers that if they attempt to send another type of cryptocurrency to Tesla's Bitcoin address, we will not receive the transaction and it will likely result in a loss of funds for you. The company's Bitcoin terms and conditions also state that if someone pays the deposit for a Tesla vehicle in Bitcoin and then asks for a refund, they could receive significantly less Bitcoin back than they originally paid due to the volatility of the cryptocurrency.
They could also receive significantly more, right?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
You could. I mean, yeah, if it shot up in value and you paid whatever amount of Bitcoin you did,
Let's
yeah.
see. Mhm.
Nothing really.
Don't see anything there. Yeah, I don't know.
Who the
Doesn't
fuck
seem,
knows?
doesn't seem to have anything about it. So we're gonna be talking about some other stuff, including these millions in the South bracing for another tornado outbreak. So that sounds fun.
Are you guys included in that?
I don't know yet. We were included in the last one. Let's see. There's probably a little map or something. No, there's not. So I guess we'll get to that in a minute. But
we're fucked. We're dead.
It's time for you plebs to get out, though, first.
Get
plebs out. Get out. Get out. We got more show, but you're not allowed to see it.
Get out.
If you want to see it, you got to join our Patreon. Join our Patreon. Join 6,000 plus other people and join our Patreon. You know it's good. You know it's fucking good. How could we have 6,000 fucking patrons if it wasn't good?
Actually, it's subliminally brainwashed them all, TJ. They're brainwashed.
Shh.
I mean, they did it of their own volition.
Scotty, shut up. You're a fool. All right, everyone. See you on the other side of the page.